In this video, we will discuss about while and do while loops. We will understand the basics of while and do while loops, and we will also understand what is the difference between for loop and while loop, and we will look at some examples in while and do while loops. So let's get started. So let's see what while loop is in Java. First of all, we will look at the syntax of the while loop, then we will look at the flowchart, and then we will look at some examples. So coming to the syntax, while we'll give a test expression here, and then here we write the statements, and then here we update the expressions. So what is this test expression and update expression? For example, I say while I is greater than or equals 10, and in the statement I say print my name is Varun, and then update expression I++. So what is this? The test expression is like the condition we use in for loop. I is greater than or equals 10, and the update expression is I++. Now you might be wondering, what is the difference between while loop and for loop? We will look at that, but before that we will look at the flow chart here. We start the program and then we mention the condition, which is but then before case I told it is I greater than or equals 10. So we have mentioned the condition, and then the statement I told that the statement is my name is Varun. Print the my name is Varun. So if the condition is true, it prints the statement, and then again it checks the condition until and unless the condition is false. The loop keeps on running, and if the condition is false, it comes out of the loop. Now we will look at the difference between while loop and for loop. The for loop is only used when we know the particular number of iterations. How many iterations? Iteration is nothing but repetition, the number of repetitions of code. The for loop, we only use it when we know the number of iterations. Like we mention I equals 0, I less than or equals some condition, and then we put I++ or I minus. We reinitialize that. But the while loop we'll use when we don't know how many number of iterations we are running. If we don't mention any condition in the for loop, it is going to print it infinite times. It will not stop. It is gonna print it infinite times. But if you don't mention any condition in the while loop, it is gonna throw up an error. So that is the basic difference between while loop and for loop. Now we will look at some examples of while loop on our Eclipse IDE. Now we will see a basic example of while loop. First of all, we will write the initialization expression. Let's initialize it. There is a spelling mistake there. Let's not worry about that. Int I equals 1. So we're initializing the value of I with 1. Now let's write the test expression. Test expression is while I is less than or equals 10. This is very similar to the conditional statement in the for loop. So we are specifying a condition here, and now let's write the statement. The statement is sysout my name is Varun. Now printing this out, and now let's put the update expression, or you can call the reinitialization expression. Update expression, and let's write it as I++. Now let's print this out. It has printed this 10 times. Now let's see what happened here. I've initialized the value of I with 1. Now this is the initialization expression, and then I've given a condition, or you call this as test expression, which is I less than or equals 10. So I is going to print 10 times, and then I've written the statement, which is this my name is Varun, and then I've updated this with I++. So it is going to print unless and until the loop becomes false. It is gonna print, and then it is gonna come out of the loop. So this is how the while statement basically works. This is how the while loop basically works. Now we will see another program in while loop where we print the sum of numbers. Now we will look at a program which would add all the digits in a given particular number and give us the result. For example, there is a number 123. So what it is going to do is it is going to do 1 plus 2 plus 3 and it is going to produce a result which is 6. So first of all we'll understand how this program works and then we will go to the code. For example, we are storing this number 123 in a variable called n. Now the first step is we are gonna do n modulus 10 so that we can obtain the last digit. 123 modulus 10 would give us a remainder of 3. Now we store this number 3 in a variable called last digit. You can name it whatever you want to. And then now the next step is divide the n with 10. So when we divide 123 with 10 we get 12 because the numbers are in int, so we're gonna get the floor value. Now we need to repeat these steps again. N modulus 10, which is 12 modulus 10. 12 modulus 10 is 2 and this 2 is gonna be stored in last, and then again n divided by 10, which is 12 divided by 10. 12 divided by 10 is 1, and again n modulus 10. Now 1 modulus 10. 1 modulus 10 is the same value, and again 1 divided by 10. N divided by 10, we get the value 0. So here everything ends. Now the values 3, 2, 1, these three values will be stored inside a variable called last, and we will create a variable called sum wherein we add all these last variables, which is 1 plus 2 plus 3, and the sum value would be stored inside a variable called sum, and we are going to print that variable sum. Now this might seem very confusing now, but once we look at the program it will be way more clear. So first of all, let's import the scanner class. Scanner se equals new scanner system.in. Now let's create a variable called n. We're going to take the user input from this. Now this n, we're going to give the value to the system, the number which we want. Please enter the number. Now we will create a variable called sum and equate it to 0. Now we'll start with the while loop. While n is greater than 0, this is the basic condition. N should be greater than 0. If n is greater than 0, we will create a variable called last and equate it n modulus 10. This is the first thing we do, and after n modulus 10, n divided by or equal to, so n equals n divided by 10. We could have created a temporary variable, but I haven't done that here. If you want, you can create a variable called temp and then write that temp variable here, but we can do it this way too. Now sum plus or equals last, and finally we print out last. Now let's write some here. The sum of the given number is last. No, I'm sorry, it shouldn't be last, it is sum. Now let's print this out. After I print this out, I'll again explain the code so that there won't be any confusion. Please enter the number 1, 2, 3. The sum of the given number is 6. Okay. Now how did this code work? We'll again look at that. Now I've imported a scanner class here. Now we have given the number input, and then I've created a variable called sum and equated that to 0. Here the condition is while n is greater than 0. The basic condition, the test expression is n is greater than 0, and this is the statement int last. I've created a variable called last and equated that to n modulus 10. N modulus 10 would give us the last digit, and then we are dividing n with 10, so that now here this number we have this number 123. When we do 123 modulus 10, we are getting the last digit and we are storing that last digit in a variable called last, and then we are dividing this with 10 so that we can remove this 3. This 3 will be gone, we will only be left with 12, and then we are doing 12 modulus 10, and then we get the number 2. Now we are storing this number 2 in the last digit, and then 12 divided by 10, which is 1, and this 1 these numbers 3 to 1 we are storing them in the variable last, and then we are adding everything, the result which we get after adding, we are storing that in sum, and then we are printing out the variable sum here. So that is how this code works basically. Now let's discuss about the do while loop. Do while loop is very much similar to while loop, just it has only one difference, which is the code will at least get executed once. Now let's look at the syntax of do while loop. Do, and then you write the code here, and at last you write the while condition. In the while loop you write the while condition first, and then you write the statement. In the do while loop you write the statement first and you write the while condition. What happens here is the statement will get executed first, and if the given boolean inside the while loop is true, then the statement will again get executed, but for sure it is going to get executed once. Now we'll look at the flow chart. The statement inside the loop, this is the condition here. If the condition is true, the statement inside the loop will get executed, and if it is false, it is going to go outside the loop. Now we will look at a simple example on our Eclipse IDE about this do while loop in order to get a better understanding of what this is. We will look at a basic program using do while loop. As I've said before, that do while loop executes the code at least once. Now we will see how that works. I'll take a variable called int x equals 1. Now I'll start the do while loop. Do sys out. Let's print hello world. Now I'm specifying the while condition. While x is less than 0. This is the condition. We'll print this out and see. It has printed hello world here. So what happened here was we have specified the do condition here, and then the while condition. It has first printed the do condition, and then it has checked the while condition, and then it realized, oh, the given condition is false, and then it has not printed anything from then on. So first of all it has printed one time, and then after that it hasn't printed at all. So this is how do while works. We can, if I specify this as if x is greater than 0, it is going to print an infinite loop. See, it is not stopping. You can stop it here. Why? Because x is greater, the condition here is x is greater than 0. First of all, it has printed one hello world, and then just checked x is whether the condition is given is true or not. Here the value of x is 1 and 1 this is greater than 0, so it has printed, the loop has continued. The loop will be continued until and unless the given condition is satisfied. So here the condition is not satisfying at all, so it is going on printing infinite number of times. So summarizing this, do while is very much similar to while loop, but only difference in this is it at least execute the code once, and after that it checks the condition and executes the code until and unless the given boolean becomes false. So we've understood what while loop and what do while loop is, and we have looked at some examples. If you have any suggestions or queries regarding this video, please do ping me on my Instagram handle or comment in the comment section below. Thank you everyone for watching this video. Please do like, share and subscribe to my channel. We'll meet in the next one.